A lot of credit to Arizona State. They were a hungry team. Their defense, forced our offense, sped us up, and created 18 turnovers. If you look playing on the road with 18 turnovers, I would say that's the greatest strength of our team. And those 18 turnovers, they converted into 20 points. Some of the turnovers you have to give credit to our opponent, and some of the turnovers, I think our starters had 15 of the 18. It's hard to win a game. I don't care what the score was for the first half, but at the end, for 40 minutes, when your starting group has 15 turnovers and you have 18 as a team, 20 points off those turnovers, that's really hard to overcome. And I think the second thing is, for most of the game, our rebounding was in place, for most of the first half, and maybe for a small portion of the second half. And although we out-rebounded them 43-40, they were clearly the more aggressive, hungrier team. We had a number of balls go through our hands. We had blockouts that we missed. They got loose balls. They got those 50-50 balls. And that's really plagued our team from the first game through until now. And, when you're on the road, your margin for error certainly disappears. And when you give up 18 turnovers, that's what we have. And you really get beat on the glass for the last 24 minutes of the game. You end up losing, and that's what we did. And some of what we did is you have to make plays, you have to make layups, you have to make open shots, you have to make free throws. You can't turn the ball over down the stretch. You got to be able to get a shot at the basket. For example, Verge didn't have to make the last shot. He drove it, and he scored the ball. He made it, and we didn't make the plays.
Is a little piece of that maybe just kind of the psychology, and that you're up pretty big early on and think they're throwing out some really bad shots, and maybe you lose that edge just a tiny bit?
Yeah, I mean, we're not a confident group. I mean, we really aren't. It's about performance. You have to grade our team and me as a coach. You have to grade our players on how we do, not how we're supposed to be. Who we're supposed to be and who we are. This is about who we are. And then when you show up on the road, you either play with confidence and play well, or you don't. And I think we've played Gonzaga and Baylor, which I know are two of the best teams in the country. For significant portions of those games, we played really well. But you don't get rewarded for playing well for a part of the game. You have to play well the entire game. And then some of playing well isn't making a shot; it's blocking a shot. It's getting a loose ball. It's getting rebounds. I'd say we had 2 or 3 rebounds where the ball's in our hands and we couldn't secure it. But I wish I could help our guys break through. I'm the coach, and it really starts with me. And I'm going to try even harder than I am to give those guys as much confidence as I can, and to see if we can break through one day.
With the confidence, does it go down when Nico's off the floor? Does that add to that level of collective confidence?
Obviously Nico's an important part of our team. Him getting 2 fouls in the first half there, that wasn't a good thing for us. But I think the other part of it is you have to give a lot of credit to Remy Martin. He's a heck of a player. He's a winner. He does it on offense. He does it on defense. He does it game in, game out. He's got great confidence in himself, and thought he was the difference in the two teams today. And he had 24 points on 17 shots, and he's a load. He really is. He's one of the best guards in our conference, and he's one of the best guards in college basketball.
Where do you go with from here after two more road games ahead?
Right. I mean, you can paint the bad picture. I mean, we're going to the Pacific Northwest, and we haven't won on the road, and we got 2 more. I don't have anything positive to say to that.
Max's defense was the reason why he wasn't there in the second half, or what was the reason?
Just really, I lost confidence by the end of the first half. There's a number of things, as a coach, that you have to get your guys to be able to do. When it's your ball at the end of the half, it doesn't matter where the game's played. You want to take the last shot, all right? You don't want to go in there and jump into somebody at 13 seconds. It's like, what team are you playing for? You take the last shot. That's discipline. That's how you win basketball games. You got to take care of the ball. And, for us, we have to go with the guys that are going to play that way.
When you talk about breakouts, I mean, the verge getting in for that layup, or does that bother you, or maybe those early shots that Martin got in the first half, or second
Yeah,
half?
I mean, that could have been my fault on the last play. We went small, and when you go small, you have an opportunity to switch pick and rolls, you know, so you don't get exposed. And we kept Zeke in as our lone big, and Zeke's pretty mobile. But, you know, at the end, didn't really matter. They drove us and shot a layup.
You had Chase available, I guess, or what was your thought? Or is he ready or not? What is
He's
he?
not quite ready.
Okay.
He's not quite ready.
But he practiced a little bit fully? Or,
Yeah.
So he's been
He's learning how to practice right now. I would say he's practiced maybe, you know, 1.5 days.
For the majority of the first half, you guys were pretty successful hedging ASU's ball screens, and then that really stopped happening. What exactly led to that change?
Yeah, no doubt. It's not as easy to keep jumping or hedging, you call it, in the second half. It takes a lot of toughness. You know, it's like I'm a defensive lineman and I'm rushing the quarterback. Man, you get into the quarterback in the second half, you don't get there. It's not easy in the second half to keep rushing the quarterback. You got to have toughness, and you have to have great wherewithal. And when you stop doing that, certainly the offense functions better. Our defense was very, very good in the first half on a lot of possessions. Our defense wasn't nearly as good on the second half. If you watch our team play, I would say that's very similar to a lot of different games we played this year, called sustained effort. Not 16, not one half, not at the end or at the beginning, but throughout. Game in, game out, day out, every single play. It's hard to create that. We struggle in that area. And, you know, that's why we're not in the winner's circle.
Thanks, Coach.